Student, good morning everybody. In last lecture we have discussed almost 50% of this chapter, thin film nanostructure, thin film or nanostructure synthesis for sensor development. Now there are some articles in between somehow I missed, and therefore I have sent you a revised presentation. Therefore today what I am going to do, I will be discussing or explaining you the missing articles in between. Okay, so and then later on we will follow the regular course of progress. This we have already discussed last time. Okay, thin film, we started with introduction thin films, and then classification of thin films, right? And then we discuss what are the properties, what are the typical steps involved in making thin film in general, what are the application of thin film. And then we discuss different techniques. Like if you really want to grow a thin film, you can start. What would be a starting point? Starting point can be solid, it can be liquid, or it can be gaseous phase. Okay, but obviously since we are talking about thin film, the end product is going to be solid, right? So last time we discussed, we missed this article, Sol-Gel method. Sol-Gel method is one of the very simple and cost-effective method. This process is very long known since since 1800. It means like uh, during 1800, this process was commonly used for synthesis of thin film. However, the versatility of this technique has been rediscovered in early 70s when glasses were produced without high temperature melting process. Truly speaking, after 1970, this became more versatile system when we started growing glasses without high temperature. Because usually we need to melt some material to produce glasses. But after around 1970s, we come up with the idea that you don't need high temperature for preparation of glasses. This concept was made possible or feasible by organic modification of silicon compound, like we call it as armosil, which cannot withstand in high temperature. So by the invention of this organic compound, organic modification of silicon compound, which cannot be withstand to high temperature, we started growing glasses without high temperature. Sol-Gel is a chemical solution process. Basically, it is a chemical method, truly speaking. But why it is Sol-Gel, that we will see. Sol-Gel is a chemical solution method used to make ceramic and glass material in the form of thin films, fibers, or powders. By using Sol-Gel, you can end up with thin film, you can end up with fibrous structure, or you can end up with the powders as well. Okay. Now, what is Sol? A Sol is a colloidal or molecular suspension of solid particles of ions in a solvent. So it is a kind of colloidal or molecular suspension of a solid particle. So suspension of solid particle of ions in a given solvent. Now, what is colloidal? Colloidal means the dispersed phase of colloidal is so small that gravitational force do not exist. Only van der Waals forces and surface charges are going to be there. What is gel? This is so ultimately what is Sol then? It is a colloidal, or we can say that a suspension of solid particles in given solvent is nothing but Sol. What is gel? Gel is semi-rigid mass that forms when the solvent from the Sol begin to evaporate and the particles or ion left behind begin to join together in a continuous network. So it means that whenever we have Sol, okay, what is Sol? Sol is a molecular suspension of solid particle. So whatever solvent which is going to be there in Sol, whenever it start evaporating, whatever left behind is called a gel, and that is why it is called a Sol-Gel. Sol-Gel means you have to prepare a Sol first, and then you need to allow it to evaporate. As a result of that, you will end up with gel. Sol-Gel is widely used in the synthesis of inorganic and organic hybrid material, because since it is cost effective, doesn't require any infrastructure, This is being widely used for inorganic and organic hybrid material. Sol gel films are made up of coating soles onto the substrate. It means like made by sol gel films are made by coating soles onto substrate. It means whatever films we are talking about, what we are going to do, we are going to coat the sole. We are going to coat the coal on any sole on any substrate. As a result of that, solvent is going to be evaporated. First of all, it will convert into gel, and then at the end, that gel will be converted into, when the solvent is completely evaporated, whatever residual which is going to be left behind, that is in the form of film. There are 4 different sol gel methods. Spin coating is part of sol gel. We have discussed spin coating in last lecture, first or second lecture. Another method, sol gel method, is dip coating, and then spray and ultrasonically pulverize a spray. So these are 4 different methods which are widely being used for the various technological application, which we can call as a sol gel techniques. Sol gel process usually consisting of 4 steps. Number 1, desired colloidal particles are once dispersed in the liquid to form a sol. So what does it mean? It means that whatever desired particles you want to disperse in the liquid, that need in the form of colloid. So we can call it a colloidal particle. Then the deposition of sol solution produces a coating on the substrate by spraying, dipping, or spinning. So whenever the sol is going to be coated on the substrate by any one of the techniques, we have already discussed spin coating, right? So like that, we can have a dip coating and spray pyrolysis as well. The particle in sol are polymerized through the removal of stabilizing component and produce gel in a state of a continuous network. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, whenever you have a sol, that is going to be, you will be coating that on substrate, and once you coat it, the solvent of that is going to be evaporated, and you end up with the thin film coating. The final heat treatment pyrolyze the remaining organic inorganic component and form a microporous or crystalline coating. So amorphous, not microporous, from amorphous or crystalline coating. So whenever, I mean, like what we have to do, we have to apply that material on any substrate, allow that solvent to be evaporated, and then you can give final treatment. So what is the purpose of final treatment? Because you want amorphous or crystalline coating. So that can be achieved because whenever you will be heating, there will be pyrolytic reaction taking place. As a result of that, you can end up with the amorphous or crystalline coating on the given substrate. These are 4 important. These are some of the steps of sol gel process which are going to be very important: hydrolysis, condensation, gelation, aging, drying, and densification. Now, as far as powders are concerned, what is powder? Powder is microcrystalline or nanocrystalline amorphous monolithics. Coating on monolith coating film, either the film could be either, sorry, the coating could be either film, fiber, aerogel glasses, ceramic, or hybrid material. So usually these are hydrolysis, condensation, gelation, aging, and drying, and densification are the important steps in sol gel technique. Now, let me discuss more on sol gel. What is sol? A stable suspension of colloidal particles or polymers in the liquid. This is very important because we the whatever suspension we are going to have, that suspension is going to be very stable. So stable suspension of colloidal solid particles or porphyrin in the liquid. What is gel? Gel is going to be porous, three-dimensional continuous solid network surrounding a continuous liquid phase. So gel is porous, three-dimensional continuous solid network surroundings. Colloidal particulate gels means agglomeration of dense colloid particle. So whenever you will be referring, where you will be coming across this term, colloidal particulate, it means it is agglomeration of dense colloid particles. What is a polymeric gel? It would be like agglomeration of polymeric particle made from a subcolloidal units. An agglomeration is nothing but covalent bonds, van der Waals, hydrogen bonds, and polymeric chain and entang- entanglement. So, what does it mean? It is agglomeration means whenever you will be having many particle coming together, we call it as an agglomeration. We call it as an agglomeration. Now, what are the advantages of Sol-Gel technique? It can produce a thin bond coating to provide excellent adhesion between a metallic substrate and top coat. One of the advantage of this is adhesive. It will have wonderful adhesive properties. It can produce thick coating to provide corrosion protection performance. It can be easily shaped materials onto complex geometry in gel state. Because like since it is in gel state, because it is neither liquid nor solid. It is semi-solid material. Gel means it's semi-solid. As a result of that, any shape can be obtained. It can produce high purity of product because of organometallic precursors. It can have temperature sintering capabilities, usually up to 200 to 600 degrees Celsius. And it means like nothing is decomposition is not going to happen up to 600 degrees Celsius. It can produce a simple, economic, and effective method to produce high quality coating. So this is very very important because it is very simple, economical, is going to be cost effective and effective as well. Okay, so these are some of the advantages of Sol-Gel technique. What are the application? It can be used in ceramic manufacturing process as an investment casting material or a means of producing very thin film of metal oxide for various processes. Truly speaking, it's not only ceramic manufacturing. Nowadays, like Sol-Gel technique is being used for many more materials. Sol-Gel derived materials have diverse applications. As far as applications concerned, it has got application in optics, electronics, energy, space, medicine, and the separation technology like chromatography. Separation is because in chromatography we have seen that the different molecules having different dimension are going to be separated. The other element, metal or metal oxide, can be easily incorporated into the final product, and silicate sole formed by the method is very stable. It means uh, um, apart from the ceramic manufacturing, we can use the deposition of other material like metals and metal oxide as well, and which can be easily incorporated into into the final product. Other products fabricated with this process include various ceramic membranes, microfiltration, ultrafiltration, nanofiltration, and and the evaporation and reverse osmosis. Truly speaking, the products are going to be membrane for microfiltration, because whenever you are talking about filtration, filtration is going to play important role whenever you are dealing with a chemical solution method. And dip coating, and then the spin coating. These are some of the example of this. Spin coating we have already discussed in the last lecture, so we are not going to discuss again. What is deep coding? As far as deep coding is concerned, deep deep coding process can be separated into 5 stages. It means there are 5 stages of deep coding. Let me show you figure first. These are the 5 stages which I was talking about. What is first? Immersion. This is immersion. So the substrate is immersed in the solution of the coating material at a constant speed, preferably jitter-free. So during immersion process, you can do it manually or you can do it automatically also, right? So in deep coating, you have to immerse the substrate. Whatever substrate could be, any substrate. It need not be a conducting because it is not electrochemical. It is like solution method, right? So you can use any either insulating, semiconducting, or metallic substrate. Next step is startup. The substrate has remained inside the solution while and is starting to pull off. So startup means like you have inserted, still it is in solution, but you have initiated the pulling of that substrate out. The process of pulling out the substrate. I mean that substrate. Basically it is in solution only, but still इसका मतलब आपने क्या किया, उसको निकालना शुरू कर दिया. Deposition. The thin layer deposit itself on the substrate while it is pulled off. जब हम उसको निकालेंगे, क्योंकि इट्स लाइक डिप कोटिंग इस बीकर है, उसमें आप इंसर्ट कर रहे हो सबस्ट्रेट, बट आप निकालोगे कैसा? जब तक मतलब स्टार्टअप का मतलब क्या है? जब आपने निकालना शुरू कर दिया. स्टार्टअप का मतलब क्या है? आप स्टिल योर सबस्ट्रेट इज इनसाइड द सॉल्यूशन, बस यू हैव जस्ट इनिशिएट द प्रोसेस. Deposition is the thin layer deposits itself on substrate while it is pulled off. So whenever it is pulled off, at that time deposition process is going to be initiated. Then next is drainage. Excess liquid will be drained from the surface because it might be having many solvent and other precursor, so that excess liquid need to be evaporated at the quickly on the substrate. And the next is evaporation. The solvent evaporates from liquid, forming a thin layer. For volatile student, such as solvent, such as alcohol, evaporations starts during the deposition and drainage steps. What does it mean? Evaporation का मतलब ये है कि आपने उसको निकाल दिया. There would be some solvent, residue of solvent, which can be evaporated in the normal temperature. These are the steps. You can see this is immersion. This is startup. Startup का मतलब क्या हुआ कि आपने उसको insert कर दिया, right? And deposition has been initiated. And then you are removing. अब देखिए, अभी मैंने almost इससे बाहर आया, but still it is in solvent, right? Then evaporation. जब वो बाहर आएगा, जब completely बाहर आएगा, या तो ये भी हो सकता कि मतलब जब वो बाहर मतलब जब वो बाहर आने की, जैसे कि हम निकालते समय it will be partially inside the liquid and partially outside the liquid. Whatever solvent is going to be there, it is going to be evaporated. And last one is drainage. So evaporation हो गया, then you will have a substrate in your hand, right, which is not completely drained out. So जो भी extra water molecules होंगे, those water molecules are going to be drain out during the draining stage. This is a typical dip coating instruments. Hallmark question. I mean, number one is Hallmark Optomechatronics. This is Apex instrument, and this is MTI Corporation. So there are three different kinds of companies, and you can see the three different equipments with the same applicability. Applicability is going to be same, but you can see it looks altogether different. Okay, so that every company or every brand is going to try the level best to minimize the problems. The next is ultrasonically polarized spray. Now, what is this? This type of spray nozzle utilizes high frequency of vibration to produce narrow drop size distribution and low velocity spray from a liquid. तो क्या होगा? लिक्विड से स्प्रे आएगा. सो बिकॉज दिस इज अ काइंड नोजल, दिस इज द नोजल. ये लिक्विड में डुबा रहेगा, यहाँ के थ्रू यहाँ पर ऐसा लिक्विड जमा होगा, एंड देन यू कैन यूज अल्ट्रासोनिक पावर, so that it can be very sharp, and as a result of that the 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 thin film can be deposited. The vibration of piezoelectric crystal source, uh, uh, vibration of piezoelectric crystal causes capillary waves on the nozzle surface liquid film, right? So what happens actually, this I mean, there is, because of some mechanical arrangement, the solution is going to be bring back into the at the end of the surface of this nozzle, and by some ultrasonic power, this nose, of course we need vacuum pump as well. This liquid is going to be sprayed on the substrate, and accordingly the thin film can be deposited. Then what is spray pyrolysis? Because this is included in the syllabus, spray pyrolysis. What is spray pyrolysis? Spray pyrolysis is a processing technique being considered in research to prepare thick and thin film of ceramic coating and powders. In fact, it's not only a spray pyrolysis is specifically meant for ceramic coating. And if you are having some material in powder form, then that material can be used by using spray pyrolysis to coat on the desired substrate. Spray pyrolysis represent a very simple and relatively cost-effective processing method. The reason for that is instrumentation requirement is almost negligible. Within 1 or 2 thousand, that instruments you can hire. So it is like very cost effective. Typical spray pyrolysis equipment consists of an atomizer, precursor solution, substrate heater, and temperature controller. You see, like, I'm not saying because I said like you don't require any instrumentation. It's not like that. It requires, but I mean, whatever infrastructure you will need to deposit film by using spray pyrolysis, that infrastructure, I mean, the cost is going to be very less. A spray pyrolysis technique involves spraying of solution containing double salt of the desired compound onto a preheated substrate where the constituents react to form a chemical compound. So whatever constituents are going to be there in the soil, which is going to be reacted on the substrate, and as a result of that the film is going to be coated. This is typical spray pyrolysis system. You can see here. This is the entire system is enclosed in fiber container. This is heater. You need electrical supply to heat the substrate. This is heating plate, and then we have substrate. It is always better to have more than one substrate because the nozzle is going to be moved from one place to another in horizontal direction. Okay. Now, if you look at this is, and then since it is we do have a temperature, you need temperature controller, because without temperature controller it would be really difficult to control the temperature. This is the nozzle, right? This is the beaker in which you are going to have the spraying solution, and this is a mechanical gauge which will be responsible for closing on and closing off this tube or spray solution. And then you have a compressor here, also gas regulator. Because why do we need compressor? Because ये जो solution जो है, ये solution हमें यहाँ तक लाना है, तो आसानी से नहीं जाएगा. It's not like, because this compressor is going to be responsible for creating vacuum. As a result of that, whenever you have a vacuum at other end, It's a effect how effect is going to be like from one end you are sucking, right? So automatically the solution is going to be moving in the direction of nozzle spray. Okay, and then this is going to be controlled by mechanical assembly. We call it as a mechanical assembly or for nozzle throw, nozzle motion, right? So this will help us to move the nozzle along the surface of the substrate. This is one thing. Second thing, it can be like you don't need to take go for uh, this mechanical arrangement. I'm saying like you can have a constant, because if you don't have mechanical assembly to rotate, then you need to have only single substrate. Because if the area is more, if you are having more than one substrate, and if you want to use a spray pyrolysis system to coat material, then there won't be any uniformity if it is not moving. So it must be moving so that the uniform film can be deposited. So it consisting of different parts, which as I told you, spray nozzle. So this is the spray nozzle. This is called a spray nozzle. What is the role of spray nozzle? It is made up of glass and consists of solution tube surrounded by the glass bulb, which with the application of pressure to the carrier gas, vacuum is created at the tip of the nozzle and solution is automatically stuck in the solution tube and spray starts. So because as I mentioned earlier, this vacuum is going to be responsible. This vacuum is going to be, because this is compressor which is going to create the vacuum, going to be responsible for sucking this sole onto the liquid. Okay, and this is going to play a very important role. Then we have got rotor for spray nozzle. So this is the rotor for, this would be a rotor. This would be mechanical assembly means you have got rotor for snow. I mean rotor for moving the spray, right? Stepper motor based microprocessor control rotor for spray nozzle is used to control the linear harmonic motion of the spray nozzle over the required length of the hot plate. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि ये जो स्प्रे आएगा नोजल स्प्रे से, उसको अगर हम मूव नहीं करते फॉरवर्ड एंड रिवर्स डायरेक्शन, तो क्या होगा? इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी यूनिफॉर्मली डिपॉजिटेड, बिकॉज वी वांट the uniform film to be deposited by using spray pyrolysis. Hence, to and fro motion and speed of the spray nozzle is monitored in a controlled manner. So, because of this to and fro process, we can ensure that the material is going to be coated on all the substrate. Then liquid level monitor, because this monitor is very important. This is going to be liquid level monitor. Okay, the spray rate at a fixed air pressure depends upon the height of the solution measured with respect to the tip of the nozzle. The arrangement of the change in height of the solution forms liquid level monitor. तो liquid monitor की important क्या है? उसका level. Because if the level is beyond certain limit, it's not going to spray is not going to be coated on the like you're not going to have the nozzle, the liquid. It will be difficult for you to transfer liquid sample to the nozzle, right? Because that is very, very important. Then hot plate. It has got hot plate, iron disc with diameter. This is just an example of one of the equipment serve as a hot plate. Maximum temperature of 600 degrees, 600 plus or minus 5 degrees Celsius can be achieved with this arrangement. What does it mean? It means that this hot plate, this is the hot plate. This is the hot plate. Okay. Then gas regulator value. The gas regulator value is used to control the prevent of the carrier gas flowing through the gas tube of the spray nozzle. A glass tube of length 25 centimeter and 15 1.5 and the diameter of 1.5 centimeter is converted into glass fiber. What does it mean? The gas regulator is going to play important role whenever that mechanical assembly is going to suck solution the from the container to the nozzle spray. Then we have got airtight fiber chamber. As far as the fiber, I mean, this is airtight fiber chamber. Yes, this is airtight fiber chamber. जब रिएक्शन होगी तो उसके साथ कुछ बाय प्रोडक्ट भी आएंगे. We don't want that byproduct to sit on the erection sit on the substrate. Okay, and therefore the airtight chamber is needed. Otherwise, what will happen? The chamber will have a lot of hazardous gases. Okay, because sometimes the gases may be evaporate, may be hazardous, and therefore it is going to be properly went through this mechanism. Okay, and then what are the factors affecting and building the substrate or subsequent build up the coating of the spray method? Let me tell you what are the important factors. Cleanliness is going to be very, very important as far as the soldier is concerned. Then surface area, surface topography or profile, then reaction rates, controlling rates, kinetic energy, physical and chemical properties, and physical and chemical reactions. These are some of the important parameters which is going to build the system. And these are some of the examples of spray pyrolysis equipment. Hallmark Private Limited, model number 115TH114. So this was about the spray pyrolysis. So we have discussed today a I mean the leftover of solution methods. Sol-gel was the leftover, and then there are three different kinds of chemical methods, right? And we have discussed that as well, like dip coating, spin coating. We have already discussed earlier. Today we have discussed what is dip coating, and third one is spray pyrolysis. So these are three important system of a spray pyrolysis. Now this link is going to be terminated after 1 minute. So we'll stop here, and we will you are requested to rejoin again by using same link.